जी नमस्कार सभी को। जतिन सर ऑडिबल है?
Yes, sir. Voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
हेलो जतिन सर ऑडिबल है?
Yes, sir. My voice is audible to you.
जी 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 नमस्कार सभी को। तो सबसे पहले मैं सभी आदरणीय शोधार्थीगण, विद्यार्थी, शिक्षकगण और देश भर से जुड़े सभी प्रतिभागियों को मेरा नमस्कार और मैं सबका वेलकम करता हूं, जो भी हमारे देश से और हमारे पास देश के बाहर से भी काफी एनरोलमेंट्स हुई हैं। जैसे हमारे पास यूके से 6 से 7 एंट्रीज आई हैं, यूएसए से, मतलब काफी इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स का भी हमारे साथ इसमें सहयोग रहा है। तो मैं सभी का एक बार दिल की गहराई से स्वागत करता हूं। और जैसा कि आपको पहले भी पता है कि डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ होलिस्टिक एजुकेशन, जो कि विद्या भारती इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ ट्रेनिंग एंड रिसर्च कुरुक्षेत्र, जिसके द्वारा शिक्षा महाकुंभ अभियान की शुरुआत की गई थी 2023 में, तो उसके संदर्भ में जो हमारा अगला शिक्षा कुंभ है वो एनआईटी हमीरपुर में होने जा रहा है 9 से 11 अक्टूबर को। तो इसी के संदर्भ में हमने पहले भी एक ऑनलाइन वर्कशॉप रखी थी। तो उसी के संदर्भ को आगे बढ़ाते हुए ये हमारा उस वर्कशॉप का दूसरा पार्ट है जो हम आज ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे पास पहली वर्कशॉप में काफी अच्छा रिस्पांस था प्रैक्टिकल को लेके, प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपोजर्स को लेके। तो उसी के संदर्भ में हमने ये दूसरा वर्कशॉप रखा है। तो मैं फिर से आप सभी प्रतिभागियों का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं कि आपने अपना कीमती समय निकालकर इस कार्यशाला में भाग लिया। तो जैसे कि आपको पता है कि हमारी जो पहले वाली कार्यशाला थी वो भी एआई टूल्स पे थी, जिसमें हमने एआई टूल्स पे प्रैक्टिस सेशन रखा था। और ये भी हमारी जो कार्यशाला है वो टोटली प्रैक्टिकल बेस्ड होने वाली है, जिसमें हम आपको शिक्षा के माध्यम से हम एआई टूल को कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं, स्कूल में, एजुकेशन में हम एआई टूल्स का कैसे प्रयोग कर सकते हैं, या एआई टूल्स को सीख कर हम कैसे हम अपने पढ़ाने की और पढ़ने की क्षमता को बढ़ा सकते हैं, और हमारे जो भी रोजमर्रा के बेसिक काम रहते हैं तो उनको हम कैसे एआई टूल्स की मदद से इजी बना सकते हैं। तो फिर से मैं एक बार सबका स्वागत करना चाहूंगा। और हमारे पास कुछ गणमान्य व्यक्ति हैं जिनका मैं शिक्षा महाकुंभ के माध्यम से परिचय करवाना चाहूंगा। जो शिक्षा महाकुंभ की शुरुआत थी वो हमारे जो विद्या भारती के संगठन मंत्री हैं श्री विजय कुमार नड्डा जी, उनकी देखरेख में हुई थी। ये जो शुरुआत थी 2023 में शुरू हुआ था। तो इसी तरह से हम ये 5 इवेंट कर चुके हैं। जो एनआईटी हमीरपुर में होने जा रहा है वो हमारा 6ठा संस्करण है। इससे पहले एनआईटी जालंधर में, नाइपर मोहाली में, कुरुक्षेत्र यूनिवर्सिटी में, ऐसे हमारे 5 इवेंट हैं जो ऑलरेडी हो चुके हैं। तो इसकी शुरुआत हमारे माननीय संगठन मंत्री जी के उनके विचारों से हुई थी, जिनका हमेशा ही शिक्षा महाकुंभ अभियान लगा लो या विद्या भारती के जितने भी हमारे स्कूल हैं जहाँ हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, उसमें क्वालिटी एजुकेशन की गुणवत्ता को बढ़ाने के लिए हमेशा ही पुरजोर योगदान रहा है। और विद्या भारती हमेशा ही शिक्षा की गुणवत्ता को बढ़ाने और हमेशा ही शिक्षकों को नई से नई टेक्निक सिखाने में हमेशा ही तत्पर रही है। तो उन्हीं के प्रयासों से और उन्हीं की सोच से हम इस दूसरे सत्र को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। तो इसमें मैं दूसरा परिचय करवाना चाहूंगा। इस कार्यशाला में हमारे जो मुख्य प्रशिक्षक हैं वो हैं डॉक्टर जतिन गुप्ता जी, जो कि सहायक प्रोफेसर हैं चितकारा विश्वविद्यालय में। डॉक्टर जतिन जी ने हमेशा ही शिक्षा महाकुंभ अभियान के हर कार्यक्रम में, चाहे वो फाइनेंशियल हो, चाहे वो टेक्निकल हो, हमें हर कार्य में हमें पूरा सहयोग दिया है अभी तक। और एआई के क्षेत्र में उनका काफी अच्छा अनुभव रहा है। वह बड़े सरल तरीके से इस वर्कशॉप को, जैसे हमने देखा था पहले वाली वर्कशॉप को भी उन्होंने बड़े सरल तरीके से हमें समझाया और उसमें बताया कि एआई टूल के माध्यम से एक टीचर है जो वो कैसे एक बेसिक स्टूडेंट, 1 से लेके 40 स्टूडेंट, जो बेसिक हम क्राइटेरिया रखते हैं पेपर्स को चेक करने का, उनकी अटेंडेंस को अपलोड करने का, या इवेल्युएशन क्राइटेरिया जो होता है कि कैसे हम शीट्स को इवेल्युएट कर सकते हैं ताकि उसमें सिमिलैरिटी रहे। तो उसी के संदर्भ में उसी को आगे बढ़ाएंगे और हमें पूरा विश्वास है सर कि आज जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, चाहे वो ऑनलाइन गूगल मीट पे जुड़े हैं, चाहे वो यूट्यूब के माध्यम से हमें ऑनलाइन देख रहे हैं, तो हमें पूरा विश्वास है सर कि वो बड़े ही इंटरेस्ट से इन चीजों को सीखेंगे। तो जो डॉक्टर जतिन हैं, उनका जो इंटरेस्ट है वो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, प्रैक्टिसिंग टूल्स, नेचुरल लैंग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग, वायरलेस कम्युनिकेशन, इमेज प्रोसेसिंग, और उन्होंने काफी सारे शोध पत्र हैं जो इस एरिया में लिखे हैं। वो एक्टिव मेंबर भी हैं IEEE दिल्ली के, और उन्होंने काफी रिसर्च ओरिएंटेशन वर्कशॉप, STTP ऐसी काफी वर्कशॉप ऑर्गेनाइज करवाई हैं। अब मैं आपका ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगा और मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा डॉक्टर जतिन से कि हम इस सेशन को शुरुआत कर सकें। तो डॉक्टर जतिन, आई विल पास द सेशन टू यू।
Thank you, Vikas sir. Okay, good evening, everyone. First of all, I like to thanks to all for joining this session, and a special thanks to Siksha Mahakum for taking such initiatives. I also like to mention a special thanks to Dr. Vishal Goyal, Professor, Punjabi University. Because of Dr. Vishal Goyal, I am able to learn all these things. So, thank you very much, sir, for joining. So, coming to the workshop. So, let us start with the workshop now. I hope this screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, it is visible. So, this is just a PPT containing one slide, because rest of the session we are planning with the hands-on practice. So, coming to first to set the base for this workshop, let us understand what AI is. First of all, AI is probably a biggest buzzword today. Yes or no? AI is one of the buzzword, I feel. Everyone is behind AI. Everywhere, whenever anyone start with this research paper writing, in teaching, in school, in universities, colleges, everywhere, the goal is how we use AI and ease our work. But trust me, most of people think when they are using ChatGPT, one of the most widely used tool, and they are just typing prompt on ChatGPT for their desired output, they think that we are a AI expert. This is one of the myth. Being expert in ChatGPT doesn't make anyone an expert of AI tools. Because the reason being is most of the LLMs, I place ChatGPT under the category of LLM, and most of the LLMs always suffer from certain hallucinations, that is returning false data, also suffers from sharing some fabricated data, biased data. There are multiple issues. So according to me, if anyone using ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, any LLM without including any manual effort, it make a user handicapped, trust me. We end up with bad results, bad research, bad projects. So what the need is, use AI tools, but also with the manual and human intervention to verify the returned facts. This will make you hero instead of making you handicap. So basically, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, I can say, is a broader idea with the goal that we need to make machines intelligent like human beings, where the machines can learn from data, recognize patterns, making predictions, and understand the language for a better decision making. So basically, I can, in simple words, I say that machine learning learns pattern from data. Another word, if we go beyond machine learning, the another word is deep learning. All of you are already familiar with deep learning. So there is a big difference between machine learning and deep learning. Deep learning uses neural networks, which are quite complex than machine learning. Also, with deep learning, we can introduce generative AI. Most of you already familiar of generative AI. Generative AI means when we create new content such as text, any image or video from the existing content. Apart from this, you frequently hear words LLM, AI agent, agentic AI. Before I go with hands-on practice, it is very important to understand the difference between all these three terminologies. What is LLM? It is simply a large language model where a large corpus of data is created and a model is trained to work and return the answers based on user queries. Like you are using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, DeepSeek, there are multiple LLMs. But moving forward to LLM, then there is an introduction of AI agent. Can anyone tell me what is AI agent? Okay, let me complete it. AI agent again is capable and powerful than a LLM. तो राजीव जैन सर की तरफ से आया चैटबॉट. Yes, we might categorize AI agent under chatbot depending upon the various applications. So if I move forward, basically an AI agent goes further. It can use LLM together with tools. Not we are using on the LLM, but with LLM, we can use tools. It has data, memory to perform certain actions. So it is quite powerful than using a basic LLM. Apart from this, I talked about agentic AI. Agentic AI take this further, much powerful than a basic AI agent. It can define the workflow and plan multiple steps. Based on that multiple steps, we can complete our work. In a basic example, let's say if we need to plan a visit from Delhi Friends Colony to Mumbai for tomorrow. If we feed this input to a LLM, LLM can simply suggest us you can take this flight, you can take this cab, you can reach to this airport, and then you can reach to this location, you can book your stay at this location. That's it. This is the output of a LLM. LLM can share you a planning, but execution part is missing. Coming to agent AI or AI agent. Same prompt to AI agent. What AI agent can do for you? AI agent can book a flight for you because it pre-know your preferences, or we can define our preferences. It can book a flight for you. It can book a cab for you from Friends Colony Delhi to IGI Airport Delhi. It can book a cab for you. Again, it can book a cab from Mumbai Airport to the stay or hotel in Mumbai. AI agent can execute this workflow. Now, question is, if AI agent is this much powerful, then what is the difference between agentic AI? The issue is, let's say AI agent just book a cab from Friends Colony to IGI Airport, and due to certain reason, that cab is cancelled. In this case, AI agent has no capability to again run the workflow. The task given to AI agent is still uncertain. The completion of that task depends upon the delivery of all the best cases, that we fall in best cases for all the events. Coming to agentic AI, Whereas agentic AI, if for that instance a cab is cancelled, agentic AI will ensure it will rebook the cab and ensure you will reach to Mumbai hotel. It can execute the workflow again and again and ensure the task must be completed. Getting my point? Any doubt? Because after this, we need to go with implementation part. So now let us start with our implementation part. So I request everyone, please open the first tool we are covering, that is Google Colab. This screen is visible to all of you, Google Colab?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Please open Google Colab. If anyone has Python version in running in local, you can use that, but I recommend to use Google Colab. The reason being is it is already provided with Gemini, so it will ease our task. Also, I request everyone to be on laptop, please, to make this workshop more sensible and helpful for you. Please open Google Colab. Under Google Colab, you need to start with a new sheet. So this is the screen where you land in Google Colab. It requires your Gmail login. Please log in using Gmails. Then you need to click on New Notebook. This is the final page where all of you need to land. Take 30 more seconds so that all of you are on same page. This screen is visible to all of you in full mode.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope all of you already opened this Google Colab. So our first goal is to learn, instead of using the simple chat GPT or etc. models, that how we can simply work on Colab. Okay, later on we can also take the help of Gemini. But apart from this, there are certain learnings which require certain human efforts. So let us start with a basic program to understand how a machine learning model works. If you are a beginner of coding or you have no prior knowledge of coding, no issue. This work can again be replicated by AI, but we need to understand what the difference between when we are writing a code and ask a AI to improve it, or we are directly generating a code using AI. What's the difference? It is very important to understand. So we start with a very, very simple code. If you have a very beginner knowledge of Python, you can go for it. If you have no prior experience to use Python or no knowledge of Python, still no issue. This workshop enable you to learn how we can write basic codes in Python. So for first 20 minutes, for the next 20 minutes, the planning is to start with coding part. Then we go with the direct AI tools. So it will basically set a foundation for all of you, that what is the difference between a manual coding and the codes generated by AI. I start typing from sklearn. sklearn here is basically a Python library which I am directly calling here. It is simply a library. Like in C, C++, all of you already aware of that. You import certain libraries like IOStream. So it is exactly the same sklearn. Dot. Let's say we need to call a model. All of you are aware of multiple machine learning models, SVM, random forest, gradient boost, everything. All of you already know about that. So I'm starting with SVM. Always remember from sklearn.svm. I'm just working on a single header file. Rest all are the logics. SVM always imported like SVC. So we are importing SVM with SVC. Once we done importing it, let us define certain things. Let's say we are taking a variable X. Under X, let me define certain data. Let us take some student data. Let us plan it. So let me take 1 is the student study hour. Let's say 40 is the student attendance percentage. 1 is student study hour, 40 is student attendance percentage. Be careful about the screen. If you want, I can zoom it. Now better visibility? Or I zoom it more? Okay.
Yes.
This is the first data I taken, that 1 is study hour, 40 is the percentage of student attendance. You can take any values as per your wish. This is very simple. I am simply taking a X variable where I am considering these values. Then other value I take is, let's say we take study hours to 2 hours and percentage of attendance is 50. Another value. Now we go with study hours 4 and improve the attendance to 70. And another data, let's say we take study hours to 5 and attendance is very good, that is 90% now. Up to this line, I hope all of you completed and typed on your screens. You can take any values. You do not need to follow the exact values I am doing. For better understanding, you can take any values. This is the input data which we need to give to machine. That student study hour is 1, attendance is 40%. Based on this data, I need to make a machine. These are just comments. Please do not type it. Machine learn that a student will pass or fail. Getting my point? Based on this data, what I want, that my machine will learn based on my input, based on a training, learning the patterns. It will understand if I ask, providing that this is the number of hours of the student study and this is the attendance. Can you tell me whether student will pass or fail? So how ML will learn the patterns? This is a single input, but ML requires labeled data. ML need labeled data, which we can say ground truth. Ground truth means for this data, I need to tell also input the actual label with that. Like, let us label this data now. This is X. Now we pass another Y to the machine. For Y, we can say that. Okay. Let us take another. Now, let's say for this fail. Student study hour is 1, attendance is 40. The ground truth is fail. Okay, we can take this in double quotes because we need to define, this is a string type data. So every time you are defining any string type data, please use double quotes in Python. Fail. For another study hour 2, attendance percentage is 50. Let's categorize into fail category again. So student study hour is 40, sorry, 4, and attendance is 70. It is a healthy value. So we will categorize it as pass. Another is more healthy value. So I again categorize it as pass. So this is the ground truth associated with each value. The point here to understand is every time we pass any input to any ML model, you please associate the label or ground truth with that. This is the major problem with all the students, that they are simply passing the input, passing the non-labeled data, and their model end up with a failed learning. Clear up to this point? Any doubt? Okay. Now let's use our model. So I use my model, that model SVC I already defined. You can see that from SVC I already defined. You can directly use SVC, and we need to fit that SVC to our defined variables. One variable is X and the variable is Y. I simply pass this to my model, directly calling this model. Every time we use any SPM model, we need to use it with the SVC. And but same doesn't go for other models like random forest. Every model has its different syntax. So simply what I need to do is, let us print it. How a model predict? Model I already defined. You can say it already suggesting me everything. See on the screen. Whenever you are working on Colab, it make your work quite easier. Look at this. Model.predict. Then providing any random input. By default, it completed my code. So we need to predict what's the classification of a student, fail or pass. A student who study for 3 hours and attendance is 60%. Now, let us run it. All of you, please execute it. All the participants are requested to mute their mic. Just a second. Okay, I manually mute it. All the participants, please always try to mute their mic whenever they are joining. Otherwise, everyone will be interrupted. So you can see the classification is fail. For a student whose study hour is 3, attendance is 60, it will categorize it to fail. It is the prediction, but it will not remain same every time. So let's say a student study for 7 hours, attendance is 60. Or let's say students study for 3 hours and attendance is 80%. I keep study hours same. Improve the attendance. Now let us check, again execute it. Pass. So the thing here to understand is, every time the decision of a ML model will be changed based on based on our input. ML will try to understand the patterns. So we can say that it is a healthy ML model. I changed the statement. This is not a healthy ML model. Yes, it is a ML model. It is doing our task. It is classifying the things, but the data here is very small, very small. Based on this just chunk of data, the ML model learned bad. So the statement every one of you already heard of, that to train any model we require a surplus amount of data, is true. Adding into that statement, with that surplus amount of data, we also need to ensure that that data must be of good quality. So we are classifying it as, this is a classification problem. Or I can also say that it is a prediction problem. Please mention in chat box. It is a classification problem or a prediction problem, or both are same. This is one of the biggest thing all of you need to understand, the difference between classification and prediction. Please type your responses in chat box, that it is a classification problem or a prediction problem, or both are same. Classification. Can anyone tell me what for prediction? No. I added this cell. One of the response I received in chat that we need to change this value to 250. So it's fail again, sir. So all of you are understanding very well. Yes, this is a classification problem. This is not a prediction problem. And prediction, we need to predict something. We are classifying here based on the inputs. We are not predicting anything. Let us also check one prediction problem. Then we straightway go with the AI tools usage. So all of you done with this classification problem? So can we move to one prediction problem? Can we move to prediction problem? Any issue in this code? If all of you already done with this code, then congratulations, you have trained your first ML model. Just in 5 lines, you have trained one of the good model, that is SVM model, just in 5 lines. Now trust me, if we give a prompt to ChatGPT that, let us hit live. Please write a code to predict student as pass or fail based on some data like study hour, comma, attendance. Write a full Python code, use SVM model to train the system. So let us check the output for this. Can you see it? All of you, this code is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
This is the response of ChatGPT, which is very much problematic. The task which can be completed in 5 lines, unnecessarily it will be complicated by using a LLM. This is the reason to do a real-time exercise in Colab to make all of you understand that just relying on ChatGPT, you will end up with the things that a human without the knowledge or a beginner level Python cannot understand. We cannot explain this code. It is a very difficult code for a complete good level of programmer who is very much familiar of Python and a experience of 5-6 years. He can understand this code. This problem again faced by many research scholars, MTech students, or any person who is interested in coding. This input very frequently comes to me that, sir, I just code this using ChatGPT and my co-supervisor or supervisor just scolded me that, can you explain this code? And I'm not able to do that. A task which can be completed just in 5-6 lines, and this is the end result for ChatGPT. If I ignore the data types, if I ignore these lines, still the length of code is quite big. If I ignore this input, still unnecessarily comments, unnecessarily adding of error handling, unnecessarily. In same way, let us try one more problem. A problem of linear regression. Linear regression is one of the model which is used for the prediction of the data mostly. So let us start again with a very small code. We start with that
Linear
and
regression.
go with the linear regression code. I request again all the participants, please mute yourself, or because it is disturbing me, I need to mute manually. Okay, now start with me. Again, from sklearn. Already we know that it is a library of Python we need to import. You can already see that it is sharing me the autocomplete option, but we need to use linear regression now, but not SVC, to check the difference. From sklearn dot linear model. It is auto completing the things. Import logistic regression. I press the tab, it auto complete my line. What I need to understand that which model I need to use, logistic regression. How we need to import it from sklearn library. Once we type from sklearn dot, it will auto complete. You do not need to remember much keywords, syntaxes if you are very new to Python. Coming to next. Let's say, again, we start with X. So let's say X equals to, now we again take the data that is inputted stdr. We can take 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm typing very slowly so that all of you can cope up with me. Please start typing same on your systems so that you can get a better picture and understanding how the logistic regression work, and we get a clear picture the difference between a classification and a prediction. I simply take these 5 datas where I am defining the input of student study hour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Based on this, I can provide the actual marks of student. A student who is studying for 1 hour, let's say he is scoring 35%, another scoring, let's say 45%, so on, let's say 55%. Studying for 4 hours, let's make it 70%, 5 hours, let's say make it 85%. Study hour and output of actual marks of that students. I define here. This data is freely available for us. Understand, this is a problem. Let us say a student is already in 7th semester of his professional course, let's say any course, be tech, whatever. And already I have the previous year semester's data based on the input that a student who is studying for 1 hour scored 35 in previous semester. For 2 hours, get 45% of score. We are simply predicting the things based on the previous data. Now, let us again define the model. Linear regression, we already defined. Please type with me. One error here. Here we define logistic regression. We need to change it to linear. Linear regression. Model, then equals to linear regression. You already see that before it is underlined as red, that it is an error, because the reason being is we are importing logistic regression, not linear regression. As soon as I change it to linear regression, it start responding and error is removed. Further, we need to fit it with the already defined our x and y values, x, comma, y. So basically हम कर क्या रहे हैं? What we are doing here is we are creating a model and training it based on the existing data. A very last simple line, we simply need to predict, or let's say print it. Print model, I already defined predict. Predict what? Let us complete it. It is suggesting me 6. So, okay, we go with 6. We need to predict that a student studying for 6 hours, what he or she can score. Incomplete output. Print model dot predict. You can see, based on this prediction, a student studying for 6 hours can score up to 95%. This is the prediction, not any classification. Do you understand the difference between classification and prediction now? Prediction we are doing for future. That if a student study for 6 hours, he or she can score 95%, but this data is very, very small. With same example, trust me, instead of just inputting this data, if we simply change this data to read our CSV, file, like we can simply need to our simple syntax read underscore CSV and file name CSV. If we simply do this using simple pandas, we can directly work on multiple problems like prediction of heart diseases. There are ample datasets available on Kaggle. That this is the values for multiple users, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 users for BP. This is the sugar value, this is the thyroid value, etc. and etc. Based on that, ground truth is already available. That this person is suffering from heart disease, yes, no, or which disease he or she is suffering from. With the same linear regression model, if we simply change these two lines and make it to read our CSV, model will train on that CSV file. And you end up returning up with a good trained model, which can predict medicine, heart disease, thyroid disease, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson disease, etc. and etc. And trust me, most of the persons who are into the research, writing their research papers are still publishing this kind of research, a code which we can complete in maximum 7 to 8 lines. Being with predictions, if I am ignoring that plotting of that confusion matrices, plots of accuracy, etc. and etc., that may include more than 5 to 6 line more. I take max of 12 lines. We can complete this code within 12 lines and go for publication. And it is predicting well. Once you do that, you find a very good accuracy if your data is very much clean. So this is the power of machine learning. Instead of just relying on ChatGPT for your codes, use very, very simple methodologies. Just 2 lines in this code, 1 and 2. Rest all are inputs or printing statements. With 2 or 3 lines max, we are using or we can use any ML model. It may be random forest, it may be SVM, we already seen. This is logistic regression for prediction. I hope all of you understand this. Yes or no? Can I move forward? Okay, that is good. If all of you understand this, to make your work very, very easy, on your laptops, open Excel. All of you, please open Excel. Let me teach you a last exercise of coding where we simply just need to read a CSV file so that you are in a state that you can directly download a dataset and make your Python code to read that CSV file. Because once you are in a state that you can make your system to read that CSV, then only you can train the model. It makes more sense. So this is the reason. So please open Excel Let us take any random data. Let's say this is ID or name, class, any random data. So let us populate the rows with, sorry, again with 2. 6. Then A, sorry, let's caps lock it for a better visibility. Let me zoom it. Then A, B, C, A, F, B, plus, let's say, first. Please populate the rows with any random data you want. And we need to simply file, save as, save this worksheet as CSV. And we need to save it. Let's say I will save it to my music folder. I simply save it. Now let me explore my music folder. It contains book 1 that is in CSV format. Let's make it student I simply created a CSV file. We can simply upload this CSV file. Please click on this folder option. Once you click on this folder option, you can upload your CSV file here. This is student data. I just uploaded this CSV file. Now you can see my CSV file is visible to me. Now let's do a code how we can simply read a CSV file. It simply need a pandas. Import pandas as PD. This is a standard convention. PD is not necessary. You can import pandas as anything. You can import as P anything you want. But DF is important. That is data frame. Then let us go with pandas dot read underscore CSV, where we need to name that file. What's the name of that file? Student data. Student data dot CSV. Then let us print this DF. Participants, is this code is correct or incorrect? Before I run this code, is this code is correct or incorrect? It's already showing me a red line. I already told you in beginning of typing the first line that I am importing pandas as PD, but every time it is not necessary. I can directly import pandas directly and use pandas here. You can see that red line is omitted. If we are importing pandas as anything, as any variable name, then we need to use that variable name. So let us check. We run it. You can see my data is displayed here. In same way, now let us move to your Kaggle. Most of you already are familiar of Kaggle. Now let us search a dataset. Heart disease. Let us find a very small notebook for the same. Heart disease, I need to go with data sets. Let us check, is it in CSV format? Yes, it is in CSV format, and this is just a 35 KB file. So let me download it. Download content as zip. Download. Let us open it. We need to extract all. This is the hard data. Let me place it in music folder again. Let me once show you what this data containing. So this is the hard data. You can see too much records, 919 records based on heart disease, yes or no. It is already containing a ground truth. Chest pain, resting, cholesterol, fasting, resting, max heart rate, exercise, old peak, ST slope. It contains multiple factors along with age. So based on this data, you can directly go for the predictions. Now let us see. Again, we go to this folder. We upload our hard data, but this data is quite big. 919 rows. So hard.csv. It displayed me the complete 918 rows containing 12 columns. Once you are in this state, your work is very, very easier. Simply, you again need to recall the model we already trained, linear regression for prediction or SVM for classification. You can go with any model and provide this data, and we can train our model. This is clear to all of you. And again, congratulations to all of you. Today, you trained two ML models. Two ML models. One is linear regression, that is, then another is SVM model. Both the models are trained by all of you. Before that, most of the people are just relying on this chat GPT, which starts sharing you a long, very difficult to understand, quite prone to errors, these type of codes, which requires a very heavy manual intervention to correct that code. You start working on a code or any project using ChatGPT, it will take ample of time because you end up with error. Again, you sort that error. Again, you pass that output to ChatGPT. Again, it will find a solution for you. A code which can be completed in just 5 to 10 lines. It creates a very much chaos for you. So what my initial recommendation is, use ChatGPT. That is good for the understanding of the research problem or to formulate anything. But do not blindly rely on any LLM. This is not about ChatGPT. I'm not criticizing any specific LLM model. But ChatGPT is most widely used. This is the reason I'm repeatedly naming ChatGPT. Apart from this, now let us understand the power of Google Colab. Again, we start with a new worksheet of Google Colab. All of you again open Google Colab. This is specifically for the target audience who are not into higher education or they simply need to do their regular tasks like generation of any question paper, generation of any records, anything you need to do. The participants here are mix of multiple ages from multiple different backgrounds. This is the reason the initial part we covered is completely for the engineering people, and rest of the people can understand the complete process of ML. Now I'm switching this workshop for the meanwhile for the people who are not into the higher education, but if they are into higher education and they are not aware of using the AI/ML tool, and you need to ease your daily basis tasks or your departmental tasks, then how we can do that? Now we come to this point. As I already told you that Google Colab is by default provided with Gemini 2.5 Flash. If I need to change this model, I can change it to 3. Frontier Intelligence, built for speed. It is fast and all around help. For if you need Gemini 3.1 Pro, you need to upgrade your Gemini. So let us type any prompt here for any day-to-day application. Let's say we need to generate any question paper, MCQ based question paper for students. We can do it just on prompt basis. Let us find it out how. Generate a MCQ based question paper for students. You can use this prompt according to your requirement for 10th class student, engineering students, MSc students, PhD students, anything as per your requirement. Generate a MCQ based question paper for students, let's say on topic, or you can directly paste your course handout, the syllabus mentioned in your course handout here directly. You can mention that, or you can upload that based on topic, machine learning and deep learning. It contain 50 questions, 2 marks each, with 4 options, out of which 1 is correct. मैंने simply typed a prompt here that we need to generate a MCQ based question paper for student. So for better conditions, I also type here, ensure do not look web for questions, and ensure no questions directly taken from any websites, because also we need to ensure the consistency and integrity for our question paper, that our question paper does not directly available on any web sources, so that student can directly attempt it. So based on this prompt, you can further refine this prompt. Share me a GUI to generate these questions every time and download as Word or PDF. So let us find it out what Gemini can do for us based on the simple prompt I mentioned. With me, all of you, I think, already typed this prompt, and Gemini start working on this based on our instructions. So you can check it start generating, where I need to accept and run. Accept and run means once I accept and run, it won't prompt you again and again. Once I click on accept, it will ask your permission for every step. So our task is divided into multiple steps. So This is my authenticated system and I'm a single user and sole user of that system. So I will go with accept and run. So now it start to complete my task. Based on my instructions, you can say it start coding usage of secure APIs. So your Gemini, once you on Google screen, this collab screen, this is the icon of Gemini. If still not visible to you, okay. Participants, you can also type all of your queries in chat box. I'm regularly onto and looking to this chat box. This is the icon of Gemini. If you're not able to launch it on collab screen, this is icon. I'm again highlighting this. Once you click on this Gemini icon, it prompt you with this window and it start to work on the same. It is asking me for a key. I will again refine the prompt. I had no key. You need to do all yourself. It starts to complete my work. In the meantime, check details from web, then generate. If it is asking for the key to everyone, then it means the reason being is we are simply using a freeware version of Collab. Nowadays, the issue is whenever we use the freeware version, the functionalities are quite limited to us. So it requires a key generation. We can directly go for the key generation. It is completely detailed, Mia. The how we can generate our API key. We need to click on this icon left of Google Colab panel. Then we need to add a secret key. We need to paste that key to the notebook. Based on that, it will start executing me the prompt according to my instruction. This is the secrets. So you can add a new secret here, or you can go for Gemini key, or we can add a new secret. Name, question, paper. So I cannot disclose certain values here due to the visibility. It is an interface where I cannot disclose these details, but all of you can type on your systems because I'm presenting the screen. I cannot show my secret keys here, but you can do the same and pass this key simply to Gemini and it will complete your work. Once you start executing, it will take around 4-5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. Then it will return you your desired output. You can complete that when we go with the QA session. Then we also have time because already it's 5:15. Let me cover one more tool. This is a very important tool. All of you, please open n8n.io. This tool is very powerful, very important. Please open n8n.io on your systems. Once you open this website, click on Get Started for free. Then in 2 or 3 minutes, asking you certain details, it will create an account for you where we get the free credits. Take 2 minutes and complete your login because this tool is very important. This tool is one of the best tool I can recommend you for automation of the processes, how we can automate the things. Here we need to understand that can we automate the processes? Consider a case where a supervisor, co-supervisor need to evaluate 100 of proposals. How we manually evaluate every proposal? Can we automate this task? The answer is yes, we can automate this task. This is a simple example of automation. Even teachers can automate their tasks. When a student submitted the assignment, can we automatically evaluate that assignments? Yes, we can. Now let us find it out. With the least usage of credits, how we can create any framework using N8N. Please open N8N. Then you land to this screen. Once all of you are ready and land to this screen, and some of you already completed this, please type in chat box so that I'm aware that how many participants are already completed this task and landed to this page. Once you click on login, start for free, it will ask you certain details. Please type certain details. It will ask you for password and a unique username. You can keep any username of your choice. If it is available, it will be allocated to you. Anyone completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me share a basic prompt with you instead of wasting time on just typing this. Okay. To consume less credits, because we are using a trial version. Once you like this version, you can go for its pro version, anything you can do. I simply need to create a simple research readiness workflow. In that student, with the workflow is student need to enter his name, number of research paper read, then whether a data set is available for that problem, yes or no. After form submission, we need to check the following conditions. What conditions we need to check? If the student has read 10 or more papers and has a data set available, set the status to ready for research. Now you try to understand that these conditions are not with students. These are with supervisor and teachers only. What condition is? In case a student mention 20, our condition is 30. Again, we can classify it to not ready for research. You can set this condition according to your need. And you can also add on multiple conditions here. We need to create a complete readiness workflow. Otherwise, set the status to need more preparation. Show the final clear status. Keep the workflow very simple. Do not use any external emails, external APIs, database or paid services I clearly mentioned here. In Collab, we already faced the problem of key. So let us find it out. I share this prompt first with all of you in chat box. Just a second. You can copy this prompt from chat box now. I zoomed it further. I think better for your clarity. Visible to all of you, or I zoom it more? Chalo, I make it to 150. I simply pasted my prompt here. It is already forward with the LLM models, agent models, already We can define a user workflow here. We can define any kind of workflow in N8N automation. Initially, it is asking what do you want to automate? So I simply mention here the prompt and let us check. It need to work on these prompts. You can see it start working on this. Please with me, all of you complete this prompt and start executing the prompt. Then it start to generate a workflow for you, and a very good workflow. And trust me, the complete workflow is editable for us. You can see ready for researchness form, which is submitted by student. Then the decision is ready for research, which is classified under two ways, true or false. Under false, set need for preparation, show need preparation results. If it is ready, show results. This is a simple workflow. Also, we can change this workflow. We can add anything in this workflow as per your need. Clear to all of you? All of you done up to this step?
Yes, sir.
So this is the automated workflow based on your conditions. Now we need to execute this workflow. You can see this executed my workflow. My name, Gupta, number of research paper I studied, let's say 4. Is data set available? No. Submit. Based on for the no status, need more preparation. The complete headache of a teacher, of a supervisor is eliminated here. You can create any workflow as per your need for completion of anything. Let's say any student is working on, let's say, a project. We can simply mention the project conditions here. That is SVM model ready? Yes. If SVM model is ready, GUI is ready? Yes. GUI is ready with conditions? No. Go with this backtrack. Backtrack to again your conditions. For chapter planning. Done with chapter 1? Yes. Done with chapter 2? Yes. Done for chapter 3? Yes. Chapter 4? No. Chapter 5? No. Chapter 6? No. Or we can say yes. Then based on this, a student can evaluate. Are you ready for ST exam? Are you ready for NTERM exam or any exam? Based on our conditions, we can mention topic here. Done with this topic? Yes. Done with this topic? Yes. Based on that, we can directly prepare a very, very good framework. You can add sticky notes here. This is a focus panel. We can delete any node. Delete. We can add any node. Add what? Let's say if the problem is yes, let us add a AI here, AI agent, which can generate an action plan for the student who already done with the research problem. Can we add external tool? Yes. I start with AI agent and sorry, not execute step. Let us delete this AI agent here. Again, we add a AI agent here. We try and fail, execute once. Okay. Done. We are done with our AI agent. Based on your research readiness problem, AI helps the student to prepare for the better results, better problem, how he or she can present instead of directly relying on a LLM model. We are adding all these things to our workflow. Any error can directly be fixed. Clear to all of you? You can create your workflows
सर AI एजेंट कैसे ऐड किया आपने?
simply delete any component, or if you need to add, simply you click on add. Just a second. It is executing. Wait for the execution to complete. Then I will show you. Yes. Execute this workflow. Yes, we are ready with our workflow. I simply click on delete. Click on add. You can add AI agent back. You can add action in app, data transformation, flow, anything you can add according to your need. If you need to transform the student data to anything, you can add a transformation here. Let's say the problem is, every time I see this problem that we need to collect certain data from the students. It may be regarding their placement data. It may be regarding their academic data, any kind of data. But what we get is a very vague data. We manually need to correct everything. In case we share a Google Sheet with students and ask them to fill their information, parents' name, etc., with email ID, we see that most of the email IDs are incorrectly typed. We can add a data transformation step here. How a data can be transformed? We can simply suggest a AI that based on these conditions, data cannot be entered in an incorrect manner. It will transform a data for us in a correct way. This is the way to add AI. The question one participant asked, how we can add AI. So this is the AI agent we can ask. Once you click on this AI agent, you can add a AI agent here. Or currently we have no data, to set it to mock data and save this and click on toss. We added a agent here. But this agent only work when you are done with and ready with the complete instruction set in the workflow you need to add. Only then. If without it, let us execute it. You can simply again type Jatin Gupta and 20 research papers. Data set is available. Yes, data set is available to me. Yes, I'm ready for it. We are executing the workflow. In case we need to use this AI agent, set the instructions, that's it. Once you are done with your instructions, then once we are correct with trueness or falseness, let's say go with any false data. Once that false data, go to this AI agent. AI agent start to help the students based on the instructions we feed to that AI agent that helps students in formulating the problem, help student in finding the data set, etc. and etc. But we need to configure that agent. Once you done with that, any student, if a student is in false state, obviously he or she need a help. Then again and again, a student approach to teacher, guide, to completely eliminate this step. We can set a AI agent here. Done with this. Can I move to next tool? Because we are now getting very short of time. I also want to cover one more tool. Now you can practice on this tool. Okay. Please, another tool. One more tool. No. First, start with ChatGPT, one of the most widely tools by all of you. This is the most used tools. All of you, please go to ChatGPT. Currently, ChatGPT is full of multiple options. You can see that ChatGPT can do anything for you now. ChatGPT is not LLM now, but the further versioning of ChatGPT, introduction of Codex, introduction of plugin, make it a complete agentic AI model. Now, it is depending upon us how we are interacting with ChatGPT in a LLM mode, in an agent mode, or in an agentic way. So coming to it, see the options are plugins. There are many plugins. We can directly use all these plugins, including Canva, Gamma for making presentation. This is for database, Supabase, Flea. This is Lovable, which can directly create apps. Anyone already familiar with Lovable?
सर थोड़ा सा किया हुआ है इसमें मैंने.
Okay. If you are not familiar with Lovable, please write the name of this tool, Lovable. Based on any required app by you, trust me, you really start loving Lovable. It can do the magic for you. But it comes with a very limited credits. Simply on Google Map, you can type Lovable and it will land you to the Lovable homepage where you need to log in. After login, it will provide you, I think, 5 to 10 credits for a day usage if you are in a freeware plan. Once you are completed with your research problem, if you like this tool, you can again go for its higher version. But you can see that Lovable is one of the agentic AI. No manual efforts required. It can create app, websites, everything in a magical way for you. So there are n number of tools. So we can directly link our ChatGPT now with Gmail. It can read, manage our emails, share the responses, Teams. Everything is under a single umbrella of ChatGPT. More we find it out. Sites. You haven't made any site. Create and publish your first site with ChatGPT. I created on Create Site. We can let us type any draft word here. Website for ML learning. I can say ML learning or website for conversion of text in English to Hindi, let's say. Regarding the security, one of the participants asked the security of our Gmail. Sir, your Gmail is secured, completely secure. The reason being is because the ChatGPT version you are using, it is already linked up with your email and you need to log in and need to provide access to ChatGPT for the same email. Otherwise, access will not be granted. Apart from this, ChatGPT also launched its further version, which can stay in your local memory, that is Codex. Codex is one of the powerful tool, one of the emerging tool. Any one of you already done with Codex? Codex, anyone? Let me show you the interface of Codex. Chalo, let. Oh. Chalo, apart from this, in the meantime, when ChatGPT is working, please come to Research Rabbit. I think I missed one or two message. You can again type the message. Let me check. I hope regarding the security point, I cleared your doubt. Amrita ma'am, any issue? I'm not able to understand your message actually. You have mentioned no regarding what. Can you please tell me the context for the same? Then I'm able to help you. And Dr. Vimal Kumar Soni, I'm getting HTML code and site for the flow, but this flow is not showing any diagram. Please suggest. So sometime after your prompt, based on your prompt, it take 1 to 2 minutes to design that workflow. So this is the reason it never immediately show that workflow. Once your workflow is ready, then only it will be displayed on the screen. After this session, you can practice on the same. It will surely show you the complete workflow. So please come to this Research Rabbit tool. This is specifically for the participants who are very much interested in publications and faced many rejections from SCA journals and looking for potential candidates to publish in Scopus SCA journals. Please go to Research Rabbit instead of directly relying on the Chat GPT for your references. You can see it start working for me, how it is creating the workflow. We need to choose. You can see it creating Bhasha. It by default start creating me a interface Bhasha, named it. We need to just simply click what kind of interface we need. Let us select this third one. Translate to third. Okay. It will create a website for me. Creating a website for any of your business nowadays, I think, is a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. There is a time when creating a website is a very tedious task. You will need to manually think of the design, manually code that, how we are adding the data. We need to define complete procedures. Now, simply we need to just, based on prompts, we can design our website in few minutes. I hope Research Rabbit, all of you are on the same page once you log into that Research Rabbit website. Research Rabbit means we need Research Rabbit for a better literature review or for better research paper discoveries. Now, what do you mean by research paper discoveries? Many of you faces a problem that DOIs, digital object identifiers, returned by any LLM. When we ask ChatGPT to add citations and references, it will insert. But when a journal check that most of the DOIs are fabricated and are not found, data not exist. This is the term, return of fabricated data with the hallucination and wrong information, which results in major consequences, poor research. If you fall in a very good case, you are very lucky enough, your paper is published. Trust me, now you can see that most of the journals start to retract the paper. Retraction is again a very important issue. The participants from the publication background, research background, know this term retraction. Retraction here again is one of the big issue we are facing. To avoid that retraction, let's say plant leaf disease detection. More refine it. Research. Sir, I am answering regarding that. Okay, Namita ma'am, I am answering regarding that how we can avoid the retraction. The retraction, major reason for the retraction is the fabricated information which we have added in research papers. What kind of fabricated information we are adding? Let me show you. Plant leaf disease detection research paper. I can see the research from 2024, research from 2000, etc. and etc. There are multiple researches are available with us. So let us consider a paper. Okay. This is one of the paper from IEEE. So cite this, copy its DOI. I copied its DOI and moved to Research Rabbit. Under Research Rabbit, I just pasted the DOI. It starts to search for the similar paper, the papers we need in our literature review, or to categorize our literature review. Let's say for plant leaf disease, first of all, we need to study ML model. We simply mention or find a DOI of paper which just contain plant leaf diseases with ML models. It will share us only those papers. Then we again need to categorize the papers of plant leaf disease detection which are based on deep learning. We search for a single paper. That single paper is called as a seed paper. That is a seed paper. Once we go with that seed paper, we can directly search our paper. Is any tool available for editors of any journal of reviewing process? As nowadays, some mostly student preparing manuscript fully with AI use. Yes, sir. Many tools are available. First of all, if we, like you are writing the paper from ChatGPT, once you done using that ChatGPT, delete that chat history. Again, input that paper to ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT to roast that paper. A paper written by ChatGPT. ChatGPT itself find ample of deficiencies in that research. Apart from this, what we are doing is, we are simply writing a paper using LLM, then we will spin the words using multiple spinner tools. What to avoid? To avoid the plagiarism and AI detection, which is detected by Turnitin. Turnitin is only tool which is applicable to all the journals. What we are doing is we are simply cheating the Turnitin. Turnitin can tell you the plagiarism AI, but cannot tell you the references and DOI. If we are going for some low-hanging fruits, the low-hanging fruits like the journals from Q4 category, most of you already, I think, received messages that publish in this journal, fees is 20,000, that spam messages, all of you received. And what you see that after a span of 1 or 2 months, the manuscript will not be indexed in Scopus. That is waste of money and your research publication. Because the reason is, if we go for certain low quality journals, they are not interested in checking your references. If you go for any Springer, IEEE, SCM publishers are reputed publishers of SCI. Answer to your question, they do not require any tool to check that, but their review process is quite rigorous. Their reviews are quite trustable. They will thoroughly check your manuscript, including your references, including your DOIs. If we talk about any tool, there are certain tools available which can check your references. Even if you paste your references to a model like intelligent model like Claude, or you can put it to any agent AI, it will thoroughly check your references and eliminate those references which does not exist. So coming back to this, based on this research paper, almost 1.5K research papers we can find out here. So let's move it further. Search setting. This search setting are only applicable if we are using their upgraded version, but let us check what kind of options. Result count we can limit it to 10. Specifically for disease detection, yes. We need only recent research papers. Let's say from 2021 to 2026, I mentioned. What kind of category quartile? Q1, Q2. Okay. Let us go with Q1, Q2. Let us go with a good H index. Yes, this is a sensible H index. And it must be open access. The reason is always select this option so that you can download the paper. Non-open access papers cannot be downloaded. So based on this, you can select the research papers. You can completely move the positions. You can select your research papers. And your selected research papers, we can directly transform this data to a very wonderful literature review, or we can directly feed these papers to our LLM model. Apart from this, for your better citations, I am exporting this 5 citations. Let us check the 5 paper I selected. At least this is ensured that all these citations are existing and are true. This is a direct citations. We can give it to LaTeX. LaTeX will directly add it. What simply we need to do, just to remove this rabbit ID, and this is a completely ready to use citations for your research paper. Getting my point? How we ensure the correctness of our citations. So there are certain more tools to cover. One is we are left with emergent erratus. Okay, but okay, now as we are short of time, we plan another session whenever our Shiksha Mahakumbh will plan for the next session. We will take another workshop and cover further tools that how we can create our own training, what we are training on local, how we can directly build those. Okay, let me stop this training. Cancel. You can see plant leaf. New build. Let us say its name is plant. Description. Okay, I'm not adding. Use sample recipe. You can see we can define a model directly here. We can just train the models within few clicks now. And we can decide our own model. We can change Llama model. Gamma with 3.1 billion parameters, 3.4 billion parameters. We can select any desired models and every model strength is given. We can change our dataset. We can define any dataset. From Hugging Face, we simply need to just enter the URL of the dataset and that dataset directly imported to this workflow. We can design our training configuration. What kind of GPU we need to use. The major question arises during training is how we get the GPU. Then we can configure our model. Then we can run the training. Please note this name, erdas.ai. This is one of the wonderful studio which we can use for the training. So for the next rest of the tools, we will plan another session. So any question answer you can, so any questions you can ask me, any doubt you can post, or please Please, one by one, you can unmute yourself and ask your query. After that, I will end this session here. Yes, any queries?
सर ये लास्ट वाला एक बार बता देंगे प्लीज.
हाँ जी. This is Eratus.ai. Please note its name. ERTAS, Eratus.ai. Here we not need to import or use every model on our local. Multiple models which we can use are already here with the billion of parameters. We cannot go beyond billion parameters. Also, we cannot train a billion parameter model on our local system or laptop. It requires a lot of computational resources. Might be its GPU usage goes up to more than 48 gigabytes. So how we manage to get the 48 gigabytes GPU? Because computation is very expensive. So these kind of platform help the students to generate their results faster and do a better training with low cost instead of purchasing that hardware just for a single usage. We can go with our dataset here, add our dataset here, set our training parameters here, configuration here, then we can simply just need to train that model. Once you're done with your training, you can directly download this model. Direct download. After downloading, you can deploy it anywhere. Once you start working on this, later on, you will understand how the things are working. Okay. Any other question?
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Any other question? Please ask if any doubt. So today, to summarize the things we already done covering with the creation of ML model. That is one of the best thing I can say for the students, for any specific person, that you are training and creating your own ML models within a few lines of codes with a better understanding that how the things work. Now also, I hope all of you are in a state that at least you can download a CSV dataset and train on that. At least now all of you are in a state that you can get the results from the CSV file. A basic problem which is faced by a researcher during the initial phase of their post